You beat me by a millisecond.
1 millisecond, are you sure?
I think it was 3 milliseconds.
2, 1. It's the Shant and Ari podcast, you guys. Episode number 50.
The big 5-0.
Shant, what's the latest and greatest from Leo?
It's actually his 1 month birthday.
Ah, Mr. Leo.
Yeah, he's out right now. He's celebrating.
Milk and champagne, huh?
Yeah. What the hell's going on?
Love it. Love it. Lots of shit going on this episode. Well, first and foremost, before we start off this episode, I want to take a moment to just declare that Azerbaijan has been taking out a lot of aggression against Armenians, acting very violently against them. If you see an Armenian out on the street, keep your eye out on them. It could be that they may be in danger just by walking on the side.
Yeah. There's like women, children, like it's again. I saw a thing today. Did you see it where these dudes rolled up with a fucking sword?
If I actually come across one in Boston yielding weapons, I really won't be scared to call local authorities, anything like that. If it even if it looks like a picture of a weapon on their phone that they were yielding.
My thing is, where did all these Zeri come from? Like all over the world. I've never even seen them ever.
They came out roughly around the same time that Kim Kardashian came out. God bless her for what she's doing. But they all sort of came up together. The more awareness that there was, the more rejection.
Yeah, they got pissed.
So, anyway.
Yeah, we have to. Good thing you brought that up, man. It's fucked up what's going on. Hopefully, people stand with Armenians. The one thing about Armenians, bro, we're just not going to, just cave and crumble. It's not going to happen.
Last month, Shant, I don't know if you caught that story I put up, where I put up a story that I only shared it with my close friends, and I said, guys, if you guys aren't supporting Black Lives Matter, you guys are fucking stupid. Because this shit that's happening with black people could very well happen with us right now, here.
In America, and it's happening. Yeah, you're right.
Just throwing that.
You called that, man. That's a good point. Speaking of America, so today I want to talk about this book. We're going to get to it. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. Okay. You listened to it today, right? You just finished it today.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to talk about that because I think you have an interesting position on it. But I want to talk about America. We started on this. So my friends and I are in a big group chat, and we fucking get at each other bad, right? And one of my friends, I won't say names, because he says some of us in the group think America's the best country no matter what, best place to live on planet Earth. And this list that I sent you from, I don't know what source it's from, but it showed that from the 35 wealthiest nations, right? Because not every nation is wealthy. USA was ranked 34th out of 35 best places to raise a family based on safety, happiness, cost, health, and education, which are pretty important things.
Really good first world.
So we're ranked 34th. So first, I'm going to get into my whole spiel about what I felt of before America and then what I feel now about America. So I want to hear your thoughts about the list.
So it's only natural that we're very, very low on this list when we're talking about a lot of things that revolve around quality of life. when we talk about health, we talk about safety, we talk about cost. It's one of the most expensive countries you can live in, number one. Number two, we take care of ourselves the least.
Yep.
Three, we kill each other the most. So it's all
and our schools suck. Like,
yes, education was on there too. Oh,
maybe college is
yeah,
is
exactly. For the underprivileged or average mediocre student, colleges are not teaching anything spectacular.
Yeah.
So I'm not very, very surprised by this list. However, there is a couple things that are missing from this list. And those couple things I want to mention after hearing what you have to say in connection with the book. But I do want you to touch up on what you thought of this list, as well as you were saying something about you thinking about a backup plan to the United States.
So I think what you want to touch on is actually exactly what I'm thinking. So the list, it's on point, kind of, right? I mean, I hate to break, and I'm not trying to be thing at all here, like, because we hate them or whatever. It's not, but like Turkey being a better place to live, I don't know. You're not selling me on that. Some of these places for sure, like Germany, Belgium, Switzerland, Sweden, like dude, of course. Australia, wow. Okay, so my thing, the list is on point with a couple of things. And we're having this discussion and heated debate in our thing, because before I was like, America is the best country to live in, right? For me, okay? Not because I feel like it's the most perfect country, because it's not. It is not a perfect country at all. But why, to me, it's the best country to live in is because it gives you the most opportunity to make money, right? To start a business. And then we had this heated debate in our chat where they're like, well, America gives us that false hope and false story of, oh, you could get rich in America, right? But there's a lot of things that America has that a lot of other countries don't. Like, and I looked this up. I had 10 sources that I looked at were one of the easiest to start a business. Okay. So the entry of starting a business, rather than like, there's some countries where the government's heavily involved, taxes, this, like Armenia, you can't fucking start a business in Armenia. You're going to get raped.
Well, now you might be able to, but before the mafia would literally.
Yeah, you're getting shaken now. So like, that's a positive. Okay. And then people are like, well, like they say America be rich. America has the most millionaires per capita in the world. So that says something about it, right? So to me, the easiest thing, like as far as like entry of starting a business. So to me, as an entrepreneur, I want to be here. Okay. So to me, that is why America is great for me, but it's not the best. Like raising a family, it's not the best to raise a family. There's better places. It's for sure. Now, what I will say is I have been coming up with backup plans, because there's a lot of shit going on here right now, man. America is on like this is how I see it. Okay. I'm not going to get political here, but I'm going to get a little political here. There's and I don't care about a side. And I don't care what side you're on. I could give a shit less. There's a fraction of America that just wants Trump out, no matter what. Right. So there's a lot of people. Well, there's some people for right reasons they want him out. There's some people that have legitimate reasons that they want him out. But then there's people who are just fucking shit up in this country on purpose to make him look bad and to get him out, which is not right. Now, the flip side is if he wins the election, these people are not going to stop, and it's just going to divide the country more. If the other guy wins, Biden, I mean, I don't even know the guy. I haven't seen the guy in like 3 months, I think, and he's just hiding in a basement. The guy has borderline dementia. Not to like make fun of him. I think I've seen some stuff him speaking. He's very lost. which is troubling. so, and so I think he's just going to get puppeted around if he wins. So I feel like America's in a really weird place. And if shit really hits the fan, I've been looking at backup options. And I had this conversation with Betty yesterday. I was like, babe, hey, I'm looking for some options, some exit opportunities here. She's like, yeah, we talked about some countries that we would go to. And she's on board, man, to like, if shit hits the fan, we're out.
Name one.
Well, I'll name you two. The first stop will be Armenia, to like get there and like figure it out, right? Like rent a place, fucking decompress, like, huh?
Have some shawarma.
Have some shawarma, fucking look at what's going on, even though there's some shit going on there now, so it's a little tricky. But my move, because I've been looking at places where it's easy to start a business and getting citizenship is somewhat easy, because that's important too.
100%.
So Canada was easy to get citizenship, but I don't want to go to Canada. It's too cold. And they're probably going to shut the border down if shit really hits the fan. I've been thinking of Switzerland.
What pulled you to Switzerland?
It's very entrepreneurial friendly. They have a lot of easy access to start businesses. The only problem with them is you have to be a resident for 10 years to get citizenship. So that could be a problem. Germany was another one. So what about you? Have you ever thought of this? I think I know the answer for you, but
Greece.
But there's no money in Greece.
I'd just be doing my thing online, setting up shop, creating online businesses, e-commerce.
But let's say America is no longer a revenue source for you. You have to switch it to the actual country you're in. That's what this is like. This is the game I've been playing in my head. It's like America is no longer an income source. I have to sell my properties. Fucking everything is.
I'd be selling my brain, bro. I'd be developing some sort of online course or like hyper marketing.
But what in Greece though? How can you make money in Greece?
Same way we're making money right now.
There's no money in Greece, bro.
You're not marketing it to Greeks. You're marketing it just across the world.
Like Europe. Okay.
Right. So granted, listen, if you're...
Okay, go ahead. No, expensive to get a Greek citizenship. It's very tough too.
100%. But if we're talking about quality of life,
yeah,
I definitely prefer Greece before a lot of other countries. If we're talking about opportunities here, none of these countries really, except if you go to the European Union, but you'd be missing out on so many other things that we're accustomed to. You know, the food, the culture, the types of people, the availability of Armenian churches.
Some of these countries,
Sweden, they've got it. Not Switzerland.
Oh.
Germany, yes. France, yes. Not a lot of the other places.
And U.S. is like, it's not a safe. We're the number one in shooting deaths in the world.
Yes, but Chicago takes like 3/4 of the shooting deaths.
God bless that place, man. Jeez, I hope that's got to get figured out. Yeah.
Yeah. So, in connection with what you were saying, Shant, United States was not the safest, nor was it the best place possible in the world for our parents to come to raise children.
No.
The reason why our parents came here was because it was the land known as the land of opportunity.
Yeah. But
else.
A lot of my friends in the chat were saying that's a story that's been told to us, but that's no longer true. So your thoughts?
I think that they are delusional, because if you were to go to Turkey, you would not have many opportunities, nor would you have many opportunities in Israel, nor would you have many opportunities in the Gulf or many other countries. You couldn't express religious desires, political desires. What the fuck are they talking about? So, long story short, the reason why we are here is the reason why I've been at work today for 12 hours. It's in order to be able to raise children, you also need to be around for those children. In order to be around for those children, you can't be strapped at work constantly. What America allows me to do is build my wealth, or at the very least get a head start on it, so that by the time I do have children, I can take some time off to come and actually raise them.
Yeah, that's the key. Because, yeah, the school system here, like K or pre-K, whatever the fuck it is, through college is pretty bad if you're in like an average area. We're so behind on curriculum here. It's ridiculous. And we're going to talk about this in the Richest Man Babylon stuff. Like, we're really bad on teaching kids on how to like actually be good adults.
Yes. So, it's funny because you reached out to me and said, I'm reading this thing. I wonder if you want to have a conversation about it. And I'm like, I'm downloading it right now. I'm going to read it. And I just zipped right through it. I listened to the majority of it. And yesterday during my run, yesterday night was when I started it. I was running and I was like, fuck, I got to write this down. So I took out my phone, and while I was running, I was using the notes and using Siri and writing down or jotting actual notes. So I took down, it's a good lesson. It's a very, very good lesson. I took down some cliff notes that I want to share, but I also want to share some insights that I took back from this book. I don't know if I agree. I don't know. It's not that I don't agree. It's just I'm a little bit confused because of the amount of focus that the book put on the subject, and then the amount of focus that other people put on what's smarter. So, what do you, Shant, have to say so far about the book? If you want to share some things before I share the cliff notes.
I just like the book. I want to hear more of your thoughts on it, but I really liked it. Just gives you a good fundamental baseline of how to handle your finances, I feel like.
Okay. What got me, first and foremost, if you're looking for a pretty good book on investing, I want to give you the forewarning. If you are good with words, if you are good with vocabulary and mind a little bit of a mental exercise, this book is for you. However, I do need to say this book was written in the same fashion that most financial advice is given, in that it's very, very hard to decode and it's very, very hard to grasp because of the way it's explained and in the same environment in which it's explained in. I just wish that a dumbass would write a definitive guide to investing your money. Just don't dress it up. Don't make it sound fancy. Don't use colloquial English. Just tell me what the fuck is up. So,
yeah. So, your takeaways, besides like the actual.
Okay. So this book was broken down into sections, and I'm going to summarize each section in a sentence. The first one was, don't take advice from chumps. As in, if you got some douchebag driving a Honda Civic that is driving that Honda Civic because he can't afford better, don't listen to him about financial advice. If he's driving that Honda Civic and telling you save every single dollar, you should probably listen to the guy that's driving the Honda Civic, not listen to the guy that's driving the Honda Civic telling you you should save every dollar to get yourself a BMW.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
second section was, and this goes into each and every following section. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in the colloquial English, they kept on saying invest 10% of all your income and set it aside in gold, or at the very least, set it aside.
Well, back then during um, the currency was gold, so that's why they brought up gold in the book.
Okay, but then what they do is tell you that this gold is also going to earn interest
Yeah. Yeah.
over time.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know if he's referring to the fact that gold will appreciate or the money itself will appreciate, and I don't agree with that. I think that the gold will appreciate more than the money, because the money, you don't have a reference point. The USD doesn't appreciate in value.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, your money, unless you're putting it into an investment like a stock or real estate,
But
your
gold
money.
there and just appreciate relative to money.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Yeah.
so it's saying save 10%, but most importantly, if you're going to save it in gold.
Yeah.
Next,
I've switched that mantra to 20% now. I don't have gold, but I'm going to, once I hit a certain amount in our savings, once this little stuff passes, I'm going to have 20% of gold, because like I said, if shit hits the fan, right, and we got to leave, if shit hits the fan, that means our USD, the dollar, is not going to be worth as much. But what's always going to be constant is gold. So I want more. I want a good amount of gold, like, to play with if the dollar goes to shit.
that's a good idea. I like that. Same. Invest your savings and earn a return, but then invest the return as well as the capital.
Yeah.
So he's saying you're going to get a return from your investment, but don't go and piss away the return. Add the return back into the investment, and in this way, your initial investment grows and your recurring return grows exponentially. So it's just a constant cycle of you're not investing more. You're investing the same initial investment, but because the return is growing, it's constantly in a ping pong match of growth.
Yeah. So I know this investor, real estate investor. He's a big investor in the West Coast out here, and he talks about he only buys his luxury items through his investment, the returns he gets. So you think that's, now after reading this book, do you think that's a bad idea, or you still think that's an okay idea?
It depends on how much of his returns make up his whole income. If it's a 1% of his whole income is the return, it's not so bad. But if
if that's a major part of his income, yeah,
you should be focusing on his 10%. If his return makes up a greater percentage of his actual overall income, then he should be focusing on setting that into his investment. But I think what this book is also trying to get across is reevaluate your needs as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Needs, the majority of them are just very, very strong wants.
Yeah. Not needs, wants.
They're just very, very strong wants. He's saying, don't forget to enjoy life, but don't enjoy life with the very notion that you need to enjoy life and you need to do things beyond your limits in order to satisfy somebody else. Do them with the idea that you got to satisfy only you.
Yep.
And don't spend because you need to prove to somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay, so next section, very important to me. Invest in things that you can cash out easily. Have access to your money.
Okay, so this gets interesting, right? Because real estate is not that. And I'm obviously big in real estate. So I don't know if you do invest or not, it doesn't matter. But like, what would you recommend in that case as far as investing in that has, if you've thought about it, quick access to your money?
It's funny because I once had this conversation with my financial advisor. I had about $10,000. Yes. About $10,000 I needed to set aside for a very, very short-term hold. And I asked him, what's the best possible place that I can put this $10,000 knowing that at any given moment,
You're going to need it.
needed to take it out. And he said, you could either do a security deposit or you could do gold. Now, volatility was lower on gold, and I still thought gold was a little bit, for me at least, was a little bit of an inconvenience because of the actual exchange.
Yeah, yeah.
It turned out I could have made, close to about $1,500, $2,000 on the investment in a matter of 8 months had I chose gold, but instead I lost $800 on the deposit.
Wow.
Between fees and between.
Yeah. So why didn't you try mutual funds or something like that, like a safer?
It was a mutual fund, not security deposit. Or
Okay. What fund was it? Vanguard?
Yes, Mainstay.
Sacco made you go to Vanguard.
Not Vanguard, sorry, Mainstay. For New York Life Mainstay investment.
Okay.
So anyway, I lost about $800. He said if you had done gold, it's a little bit safer, less volatile. But anyway, I needed immediate access to the money. I think that the best route is to know a couple jewelers and just go in on gold.
Yeah. So that's interesting. It's good to have, like, I want to go heavy in real estate investing. I should not have all of my funds in real estate because that would just be really stupid, right? Because if I need cash, I can't just go sell a house. It's not going to take a day. It's going to take.
Save this for the very end because this is one of the.
Okay.
I wanted to touch on was this subject.
Okay.
Well,
keep going.
It's saying own whatever you live in. So the reason why it's saying own whatever you live in is so that you're not you have a definite thing that you're giving to your successors, children, etc.
Yeah.
Always be hungry for more.
It's a good one.
As in, don't stop investing. Don't just keep that ball rolling no matter what.
Yeah, don't go for 3 years and stop and think you made it. Just keep going.
Never gamble. He's saying that you will always lose more than you'll make by gambling.
Now,
exceptions, but for the most part, you're always going to lose more than you'll make.
Now, is this I'm guessing in the book he means gambling, like gambling on sports per se, rather than like gambling on an investment.
I think it's gambling and not having some sort of guarantee. As in, you are literally gambling because you don't know.
The outcome. It's luck. It's
Right.
more of a luck thing.
It's luck.
Okay.
So next one is stop procrastinating. If you're leaving anything to the last second or not doing something because you think it may get better, you're setting yourself up for further losses. Next section was don't be involved or invest in businesses you don't know. Always know what you're involved in.
Yes.
Coming back to the first point was never take advice from chumps. So if you're going to invest in something that you don't know, at the very least, know the person that knows everything about what you're investing in. And this is going to tie into not just the real estate conversation. I have another thing that I also want to talk about. So stick around. What I'm referring to right now is talking about real estate versus gold. And does it make sense to have a financial advisor? Anyway, last couple things and we'll...
Before you, next point, Warren Buffett talks about never invest in anything you're not a fan of or know about. Warren Buffett, who's the best investor right now, that's what he says. So,
no. Next section was the one that I actually took notes on was don't take on debt unless it's being used to make guaranteed profits.
Mm-hmm.
Not gambles.
Yeah.
Unguaranteed investments. It's a very, very good guideline, a very, very good primer for how you should be handling your money. The issue was that it was, like I said, it was explained in a way that a lot of rich people would explain in a very cult or niche sort of environment, almost like leaving the person that doesn't speak English out of the conversation. The person that just got to the United States out of the conversation.
So before we all know your okay. So next, what I would add to that, some note that I had was don't ever lend your money to someone who's not going to be able to pay it back and who does not have a plan of paying you back. Like, is there a game plan? Like, let's say, so Adi's going to borrow money from me, right? You're going to borrow money from me to start another business. Okay. So, okay, that's fine. But if that business fails, what's your means of paying me back? Is it going to take you 50 years to pay me back? That's what it said in the book. From the actual stuff you're doing right now, then it's not worth it for me to lend you money with interest. Second, it talked about what do you do if you want to save and you want to invest your money, right, the 10%, but you don't make enough to invest or save. So what he said, and it was really good, is a couple things. You need to cut down your expenses. Whatever your expenses are, cut it down. And the way this guy fucking explains it in the book, it's like Jesus talking. So
what the fuck was up with that?
Next thing you could do is get better at your craft to have more value, to bring in more money, to get your income up. So it's two things. If you don't have enough money to invest right now, it's fine. But the book says cut down expenses. If cutting down on your expenses, if you're already living tight and you can't cut, then get better at your craft to have more value, to bring in more money. That's what I got from the book as well.
Completely on point. Now, question to you, Shant. Knowing what you know and being involved in what you're involved in, having him put this much emphasis not on owning the land or lands that you live on, but investing and reinvesting the gold that you have in your purse. What do you see as being more profitable or more desirable of an investment for you? Is it gold or is it real estate? Which one is the wiser of the two when it comes to investment?
So I'm going to throw in a third here, and I'm going to throw in the stock market, because I think that's all relative. I think it's always these three: gold, stock market, real estate. So in my opinion, it would go real estate first, gold second, stock market third. Now,
Gold, real estate, stock market. Is that what you said?
real estate, gold, stock market.
Real estate, gold, stock market. Does the location of the real estate make a difference?
Yes.
Does the location of the gold make a difference?
No. But see, this is why real estate to me is higher than gold. Okay. You will make, if you're doing it right, and we're going to base this off like things going the right way, you're going to be making money monthly. When gold, you will not be making money monthly. You only make money is if you sell it. Otherwise, the gold is just sitting there and not giving you anything when you own it. It just sits there.
Yes, it does.
Real estate, not only will it pay you monthly if you're doing it right, if you buy it, it will also be worth more when you sell it, so you'll make money on that end too. So to me, it's two avenues of money compared to gold, which is one, only when you sell it. Now, people would pick stock market over gold. A lot of people would, because they're both things you have no control of, right? Gold, you don't set the gold price. I don't set the number that Apple is worth for stocks, right? But why gold to me is a little bit better than stocks is it's universal.
Yes.
Stocks it's not. It's right here. This is it. So that is why to me gold wins by a little bit. So I want to hear your thoughts. I know you have contradicting points, and I'm going to have to school you a little bit on this. But let's get down a little bit so you can talk down on me.
So, Professor, correct me if I'm wrong. I think the location really, really does make a difference when we're making this argument of recurring income or passive income that I think that you were alluding to. I think what you were alluding to was get real estate and have it pay you on a monthly basis. And I think that to a certain degree, I don't think that every piece of property is going to do that for you properly. I don't think that you're going to have that sort of happen to you in Boston the same way that it may happen to you in Arizona. So I think it's just very, very carefully giving that advice. And I think that it all comes back to my whole point of generalizing and giving the advice very, very ambiguously. The book is ambiguous with the explanation of real estate. And I think that many people in general give out vague and ambiguous advice when it comes to real estate. But I think that when you start talking to a real estate professional, they'll really start honing in on which cities it's worth it.
Yep.
For instance, if you were to talk to somebody, they would probably tell you, I would probably stay out of Boston for about 5 miles.
Yeah.
Really, really get the most out of your money, you probably want to buy a multi-unit 25 miles or so outside of the city of Boston, because between interest and maintenance, you may not actually see an income after
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
So I think that in 30 years, your kids will likely see the benefit out of the property for sure. But I think that gold will also have a guaranteed rate of return equal to, say, not in Boston, because what happened in Boston with property values is just fucking absurd. But I think that that gold comparison will probably be equal to a regular city, such as maybe
But
in Texas or something.
but remember, gold fluctuates with the market. So gold was worth the highest at $1670 an ounce or whatever, like just the price of gold, right? In on March 9th. Then it dropped. I'm looking at this live.
Mm-hmm.
It dropped to $1,450 an ounce, let's say. And now it's at 1950, the highest it's been in the past 5 years, 10 years. The highest it's ever been.
Shit on
Ever.
once every like 30 years, man. A pandemic. Like, what the fuck?
I know, but what I'm saying is it does fluctuate up and down. So just like real estate.
Can you give me an accurate like graph? So it's really going up and down 200, while property values are just they're at a consistent increase every single day.
Yeah.
So I just think that the situation with gold is the same thing, the situation with cars, where used car values went up 25% as opposed to, people being cutthroat, competitive, slashing their prices on one another. So it's right now is not the best comparison to make. I just think that it's a very, very good comparison to make when you're not comparing markets that demand more money just because a school is located there.
Okay. I get it. Also, silver is a really good investment right now. Side note. Okay.
I heard that. Heard that for sure.
So I don't know, man. I really feel that, and this is where it comes to the whole knowing what you're getting into. If you don't really know real estate, it's really not a good investment, right? Because like the book said, know what you're getting, know the business you're getting into, know the investment. Gold, it's kind of easy, right? Like you could literally Google for like an hour, get all the information you need on gold. Like,
but then, forbid you get fucked on like broker fees. You end up paying like $50 or $100 on like the per.
You got to know a good jeweler, man, for gold.
Right.
The thing we know a couple.
So I guess my next question is it actually worth hiring a financial advisor, or is it just better for you to just do a shit ton of research online and do things with trial and error?
So when you mean financial advisor, define that for me.
So I mean somebody that literally tells you how to manage your money, how to spend your money, where to put your money. I had a guy reach out to me. He was a wealth manager.
Okay. So to me, that's better than stock, not brokers, but like if you go into Fidelity's office, right? And you want to invest in the stock market, and they set you up with someone, a financial advisor for Fidelity. You sit with them, and my dad has one from his Chase Bank for his investments. to me, all of them are they kind of do the same shit. They just kind of give you the cookie cutter stocks. I was able to, so me and Betty got married. We had our wedding gift money. Okay. We paid off debt, and then we had, I would say, let's say like 20 grand, right? From savings and whatever. We had 20 grand.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to invest this money. I went to Fidelity. I went to TD North. I went to 3 other stock brokerages, sat down with an advisor. They all said the same thing. I was like, okay. I said, thank you guys. I went online. I did research for like 3-4 days straight of just reading, talk to Sacco and fucking all this stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to invest it on my own.
Right.
I invested it, made 22% return on it after like 3 years, 3 years.
Love it.
And was able to use that money for a down payment on a house. So that part I would not do. And I think my cousin is a stockbroker, so he's going to hate hearing that. We won't mention any names. But a wealth manager, I think it's good. So here's why they're good and why they're not good. They're good to hear different ideas, to make sure there's someone like watching over you. But if you're just going to give them the money and say, okay, go invest my money, I don't like that. I want to know what's going on. So I want this person to educate me, to give me the options and say, okay, this is what I think you should do. Here's a couple options. You make the best decision. I don't want to give my money and say, you make the decision for me. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So do you think that investing in real estate and investing in gold should be a secondary method of spending your time professionally? As in, you're doing this more on nights and weekends, and your primary goal is to see that your business constantly and rapidly increases in
or your 9-to-5 job. Yeah. Real estate's tough, man. Cause like there's a lot of ways you could fucking, it's not, it's tough. You hit the wrong market, you're fucked. Gold is a little safer. You don't have to work as hard, right? Like with gold, all you have to do is just make money and go buy gold, and that's it, and hold on to it.
Where do you put it?
It's a good question.
Put your gold.
So there's gold funds, stock market funds, but I don't like those.
No, I just want a safe.
Like an actual gold. So you could put it in a bank.
I think I'd put it in a safe.
At home?
Yeah. Just swim in it once it gets like
you can have like one coin, bro. Like, what are you talking about? So what's your thoughts on financial advisors?
The guy told me last week, he goes, Ari, I don't know how, because I was giving him car advice. He goes, listen, I don't know how much you make or anything. I don't want to ask you too many questions there, but if you ever need any financial advice, I want to set you up for free. And I'm just like, buddy, I think I'm all set. You're offering me free advice. I think I'll just stick to YouTube and Google. Steve Graham.
Steve Graham, he's good.
And
who?
Steve Graham. That's it.
Patrick Bet-David too. He's got some good stuff.
He's just all around great, that guy. He's a great guy.
Hopefully we can one day get him on our podcast.
He'd probably do it.
Huh. I'm going to start messaging him on Instagram and stuff.
Yeah, he's not celebrity yet.
Yeah, no. So I would probably wouldn't do one, but I could see someone doing a financial advisor. I could see the benefit of it. I think an accountant is the most important thing you should have.
Seriously, huh?
Yeah. A good accountant. Not QuickBooks, not TurboTax. Fucking do it yourself for $240 or $100 or $99. Or like, I saved fucking
Why do you think an accountant is so good?
If you own a business and if you're thinking about investing, they're going to give you they're going to save you money in the long run. So I had not a lot of money. I had some money in my 401k. Me and Betty had money on our 401k. And I wanted to pull it out to buy our second house. And Betty's like, I don't know. We're going to pay a lot of taxes on it because it's 401k.
All right.
With 20%. But I was like, yeah, but fuck the 401k. And I want to be in control of my money. And if we put it in real estate, it's going to be better off. So I called my accountant and he kind of broke it down for me in why it's okay to take it out of 401k and pay this 20% tax on it. Because in the long run, you're going to make more money. So that's where an accountant could be beneficial for you.
So hold on. How is that possible that you can make more money? Confused. Paying 20%.
So an average rate of return for a 401k is like what, 6-7%?
Okay.
Right. On this deal, I was buying this property, which is going to be an investment one day. It's going to pay me probably 12 to 15% return on my investment. So overall, in the long run, it's going to pay me more. Plus, it's going to be worth more at the end. If I kept the 401k for 30 years, keep the house for 30 years, that 20% tax I'm paying is the worth of the house is going to skyrocket where it's not even going to matter.
I got you.
But he broke it down to me like that because I was skeptical too. So,
how much did he cost?
Well, that he just told me because he charges. So it's for my yearly, every quarter it's like 200 something bucks. And then to do my taxes at the end, probably with Betty's and all our stuff together, it's 1,500. Well worth it.
That's not bad. No.
Because I call him, like, hey, something's up. I need your advice. It's worth it.
That's white people expenses. I like this.
Yeah, good episode, man. We learned a lot today.
You do a book review all the time.
Yeah, especially if you're going to listen to it in a fucking day. Jesus.
Some good reads.
I'm going to send you this link, Money X, so you could compare, gold price, the stock market, and oil price, and the U.S. dollar all within a graph, and it kind of shows you.
I like that.
I sent it to you right now. That's a good... Yeah, the U.S. dollar is literally just like that.
Portable. I'm trying to find a portable air conditioner, Shant. Any air conditions?
See, that's a need. It's not a want.
It's hot. It is hot.
That's definitely a need.
Oh, man. Anyway.
All right.
Good talk.
Tune in for next week for another book.
Yes. Let me know.
Good night.
Good night, Shant.
Good night, everyone.